Hello again, this is David, and we're back here with our friend Stan. This time I made a walk cycle. I actually tried to follow along with these walking references that we had used with our robot friend. And, well, um, my main problem with Stan is that I tried to add some movement to his hips and to match that movement with the rest of his body over here, but at first it seemed way too shaky whenever I clicked the animation. I have definitely gotten that a lot smoother, but you can still see that there are some points, I think specifically with his head. Maybe I should have made the movements a little more subtle. It's just that in the settings they look, since there's a very small difference between the movements, uh, these are fractions of numbers over here, so Um, maybe I will need to tweak that a little bit, but overall, I think that is a functioning uh, looping for a walk cycle. Uh, I am mostly content with this because, especially if you take a look over here, I did um, try to pay attention to every detail in him. Um, his toes curl, which is something that I hadn't noticed that they could do in the last Summit Withstand. Uh, I did a little very subtle movements with his hands that you can probably see better if I slow down a little bit. So his hands move along as he walks. They close and open the fingers. They slightly twitch around. Um, the as they rotate along his body. I try to make this movement seem as natural as possible. Uh, the hips again. I think I still might not have gotten the this ratio completely correct. What I'm considering, especially now looking at it while recording the video, um, I feel like I should have added some more rotation to the hips. It's just that I didn't want him to um, look like he was in a I don't know, a fashion show or something like that, so I didn't want him throwing his hips to the side far too much, just a regular person amount. But at the same time, you can see that even though I've added this movement because it was so exaggerated before, I feel like maybe I've decreased it a little too much, maybe not. Maybe I should have just added some more rotation instead of the angular movements over here. But well, that's I believe that's just a part of experimenting and just gaining more experience. Part that I was mildly content with before, but now again, since I've readjusted the rest of his body, I feel like I haven't completely matched yet with the rest of him. Is his head, because over here, um, his head before it was matching a little better with his body, but ever since I've changed it so that his torso wasn't as shaky as it was previously. Maybe I should have recorded that just so you would understand a little better what I was talking about. But now his head I'm not too sure how well it's sinking. During my first and second pass, I think the head was pretty much static, so I felt like adding some movement. Um, oh yes, the knees also, just so the legs had slightly more natural movement, did make it so that they separated a little bit according to the steps. Again, barely noticeable stuff. It's more noticeable if you're in the actual modeling space. See over here during the impact how the knees bend a little bit. Yeah, so that's why I did this, just to add a little more of this sensation of the more flexible knees. Oh well, so there we go. It's a very basic uh, walk cycle, but it works. So I'll be seeing you in our next and probably the last video for this class. Goodbye.